Today I will tell you the story, the case of Scrum Studio in a bank, so how to become agile in non-agile organization, non-agile environment. So I will tell you a little bit of the background, the bank, the situation, and then we will talk about what is Scrum Studio and what was needed to make it happen, and of course, what was the result of implementing Scrum Studio in the bank. And I have only 15 minutes. So what's the bank? The bank is BGŻ BNP Paribas. And it depends how you look at it. It's fifth or sixth in Poland, so it's quite big. And the interesting stuff about this bank is that it was built mostly by acquisition. So they acquired more and more new banks. Even now, they acquired another one. Despite the promise that they won't do that, they acquired another one. And they were willing to stop at some point to stop building the growth. And they said, okay, at some point we need to become stable, we need to become innovative, and we need to be more customer friendly. And that's why I was hired there in 2017 as Agile coach. And there was even the transformation department created, so I thought, okay, and they are really thinking about it seriously. They wanted to be Agile, so they want to be quick, nimble, and able to change direction very quickly, but it's very, very big organization. And we started with some pilots. Of course, that's how you start. We started with some pilots, quite small projects, still projects, quite small applications. And what we found, we had issue with product owner. Product owner usually had no time. There was no 100% delegation to development team. We had to fight for the resources still. And people had issues with bank environments. They couldn't connect, couldn't deploy, things like that. And of course, the whole thing was still fit in traditional project management methodology with a traditional document about it. And the culture itself was not so agile, and every decision had to be made by a committee. And I was once, and that was the eye-opening moment for me, when I was in one meeting, when that was the steering committee of one of the apps, and we had 18 people in the room making decision about one single app, how we should do it, and if we should do it, and so on. So probably the cost of that meeting was already like half of the development, right? Who've been in that situation before? Yeah. And it was obvious that we need to change culture, but it's quite a big work to change culture. And well, Tomek told you, I think, everything about that it will take time and it's a big effort. And what's next? The next thing is that we learned that there is the new, very important big project coming. Actually, it's not coming, it's already started. They already started, and I kind of learned about it on the corridor, talking to somebody else. They said, oh, okay, you're Agile coach, so probably you're working with this online banking. I was like, what? What online banking? Oh, there's a huge project running, and they say it's Agile. Oh, okay, so maybe I'll talk to them. And of course, they started designing everything as usually you start. They started designing organization, they started doing plans. So we started with this, the don'ts. Don't do Scrum without experience. Yeah, we have it. And don't do project instead of building products. Yep. Fixed scope contract. Yes, we have. And they said, oh, we cannot negotiate that because, yeah, it's almost signed by the board. So nobody is willing to go there and talk to them again. And we use out-of-the-box solution, and we say, we just need to customize it a little bit, just a little bit, and it's going to fit. You just plug it in, and it works. And if any of you have been to this kind of project, you know that it doesn't work this way. And don't start with vendors. It's vendor-based project, and we don't have all the people. We don't have product owner yet. But hey, Agile. Fixing long-term plan and fixed contract, and we need a lot of external dependencies, And I jumped on a running train. So they said, oh, actually, we started the inception phase already, so it's ongoing thing. And of course, we use huge Agile project to show that Agile works, right? This is usually the bad idea. So I was like that. No, seriously, it's not happening. And then, okay, we knew that we need to change the culture. How do you change the culture? You need to change the structure. You need to do something. But changing the structure of huge bank, yeah, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's not that easy. So what then? Then I remember about some inspiration. We have Accelerate from John Kotter. We have software in 30 days, where the first time you could see is the Scrum Studio described. We have the white paper. We had the Everest project from PZDO, and actually I've seen so many similarities that maybe that's the only way we could do, like build something next to the organization and change culture there. And today I found that I had blog post about it. But yeah, sometimes we search for ideas far, and they're really, really close to us. And then, of course, building online banking is really big challenge. It's a big product, and probably one product owner won't understand all the details, won't have all the knowledge in all the areas, like you have the transactions, the account, you have savings, investments, and so on. Probably it won't be one person. So I thought, okay, let's do the less scaling framework. Let's start there. And so there was the idea that we're going to have one product owner for online banking and product owners for particular areas. What we needed a go from the board, so from the C-level. We needed protection from outside. We knew that if we don't get it, then some managers will pull people and start to changing priorities. We needed new structure proposal, delegated people to the studio only. Room for collocated teams. It's going to be about 100 people, and we want to keep them as close as possible, and we invited the vendor in the bank. Trainings in Scrum, obviously, and actually we did 2 rounds of training, first the introduction and then the serious training per particular role. And we need a PowerPoint presentation about that, because it needs to go to the board, so it needs to be on PowerPoint. And we did that, and we had really strong support about that from the B-1 level. And they took it, they went to the board, they presented the idea, and surprising to everybody, they said, okay, yeah, it's important enough, so you get that priority and you can build that. And we built the Scrum Studio. And we built it in the bank as new department. It's totally new department, with the boss of the department being the product owner of online banking. That solves a lot. And more than that, most of the people from the bank working in the Scrum Studio are reporting only to the product owner. Like if you look into Outlook details, then you see that the boss is the product owner. So that changed a lot. And we still have 2 leaders. One leader we have from the business, and the other we have from the IT. So they are guarding us from one side and from the other, from the rest of the organization. And what's inside? Inside we have structure like that, but it's going to change soon. But what you see here, what could be interesting, the concept team. You might wonder why we have concept team. It kind of sounds like waterfallish thing, waterfallish idea. But we found that a lot of people, being the area product owners and analysts and so on, they didn't know how to work this way, and it was like you throw the ball and they don't catch. So we needed a lot of support from the product owner. We needed a lot of coaching, mentoring, and so on. And finally, what was the result? We built the strong development teams. We built the strong area product owners. We also started design thinking, design sprints, continuous integration, and so on, and we started changing the organization around. So I'm kind of out of time. So what's next? We're going to build probably next Scrum Studio, and we have a go from organization. And the final thoughts are, start with what you have. You can start really what you have and inspect and adapt on the way. There's no better way to solve those problems. Get used to change, and you're going to change a lot your setup inside the studio also. Think from customer perspective. Contracts are for bad times, and actually you can get the vendors to work with you, to cooperate with you. And yes, you can change culture, but it's not for everyone. And some people we've seen, they quit. Some people we had to let go. That's hard lesson learned in the bank. Thank you.